Hello. Short week, so not a ton of news, but as people who tune in on a regular basis will realize, a regular who tunes in on a regular basis, I will probably babble for a long time because I don't have a lot of news to talk about. So let's get into the news up front and make sure that you get all the information you need, because you're either on vacation, you're either having a long weekend, or you've arrived back at work after a long weekend and you're trying to just get caught up and you're like, I don't have time for a lot of this. The big thing I think is important, especially if you are a Black founder and you're watching this prior to July 7th. You don't necessarily need to be a Black founder in Portland. You can be a Black founder anywhere who's willing to travel to Portland. Pitch Black has their applications for the Pitch Black Showcase, which is going to be happening in August. It's been a while since we've had a Pitch Black. It's always a sold out event. The big news this time around is they basically doubled the size of the venue. So it's going to be at Portland Center Stage. That's 600 seats. I'm a huge fan of that venue. We ran a couple demo days there back in the day, and it's always nice to have a packed house at Portland Center Stage. And of course, that's what Pitch Black is going to do. If you're not familiar with Pitch Black, very much a stand-up kind of pitch your concept, audience votes at the end, and then while some people may get a little more financial support than others, anyone who participates, anyone who is selected to take the stage gets some financial reward, incentive for doing so, for taking the time to participate. If you are a Black founder and you would like to be on stage at Portland's Pitch Black Showcase in August, you need to get your application in by July 7th. That is the deadline. If you would only like to attend, tickets will go on sale soon. You can add your name to the wait list, kind of announcement list thing, and you will get notified when those tickets are available. But more importantly, if you are a founder and would like to be on that stage, please get your application in before July 7th so that you can be part of the mix and see if you can get selected. So I will go ahead and link that up. Look forward to seeing who makes it on stage this time around. It's always a good show. And again, really looking forward to seeing it in the Armory, Portland Center Stage, 600 seats, much bigger venue. Should be a great show. Quick reminder that we're building this database of Oregon startup folks, and you, if you're in Oregon or Southwest Washington, are more than welcome to submit your profile. This is for folks who work in, on, and around startups. So you don't have to be a founder. Maybe you're a fractional CFO, or maybe you're a designer who works with startups. Maybe you're a lead engineer who often gets hired by the founders to build out product. Whatever the case, if you like startups, cool. If you want to be around more startups, great. If you are part of the startup community already and just want to get connected to more people, that's what this whole Oregon Startup Database is designed to do. Please take the opportunity, submit your profile. I will take a look at it. I'll make sure there are no typos or 404s. Make sure you're from Oregon or Southwest Washington, and then get it posted so you can be like Josh Plaza here. Josh Plaza is a senior software engineer and tech lead with 10 years shipping code used by millions of people. He has extensive experience in React, PHP, Laravel, AWS, Circle CI, and modern web architectures. He has a proven track record of growing teams from 1 to 7 developers, setting technical direction, and delivering complex projects on time. And if you want to reach out to Josh, a good place to start that conversation is to ask him about his 80s-inspired synthwave project he has going on Spotify. So, you could appear on this show just like Josh. You could be an interesting person that I pick out to highlight. Or maybe you just hear of these folks and you're like, hey, I want to chat with Josh about his synthwave project. Whatever the case, please submit your profile. I would love to see more people getting connected in the Oregon startup community. Again, not just Portland, but if you're in Bend, the Dalles, Eugene, or Corvallis, Pendleton, or Medford, or Seaside, Boardman, or Union, or anywhere in the state of Oregon or Southwestern Washington, will accept those as well. This is Oregon Startup Community. Please get your profile submitted so we can feature you, and who knows, maybe you wind up on an exciting special episode of the Portland Startup News Recap that I do every week. I look forward to featuring you. I look forward to meeting you. Please get those profiles submitted. Okay, you may remember for the past couple of weeks, I've kind of been pushing this big startup gathering. We've done a few of them before. Hundreds of people have shown up and kind of got connected, had the chance to hang out with one another. We had planned one for July 8th, but that's being postponed for any number of reasons. It was kind of a cascading series of failures on any number of fronts, which is fine. I mean, that stuff happens, and I would rather have a great event for folks to participate in rather than try and force something which wasn't going to work. And so we press pause, postpone. We're going to look forward to a new date when more things fall into place, or when we can have more time to kind of plan and fix some of the things that weren't working. So July 8th postponed. Please don't show up on July 8th at the Red. Do not show up there. But there are other big kind of gathering events where you can show up that are still happening, where you can meet amazing people from the startup community. Consider attending maybe Founder Coffee at Flock on July 8th. That's a morning event. Flock is in the first floor of the Ritz-Carlton. I thought this was supposed to get easier with more practice. TechWorks on Tap is happening July 10th, which should be a great gathering. I believe it's in Tualatin this time, so take a look at that. Of course, the huge tech party of the year, every year, the big summer celebration for the tech community is TAO's Party in the Pinot. That's happening July 19th. Again, that takes a little bit of a commute to get there, but well worth it. And another one I wanted to highlight is our friends at AI Portland are having a game night on July 23rd at the pickleball courts. The People's Courts, I think, is where they're hosting it. But if you just, if you want to hang out with the AI Portland crew, but it's not a presentation, it's not a happy hour, it's something slightly different, July 23rd, great opportunity to do that. Speaking of getting connected to the startup community, one of the organizations doing the work of getting people connected or helping with wayfinding in the startup community is the Portland Metro Region Innovation Hub, the hub of innovation in the metropolitan region for Portland, which is designed to really be this organization where founders can show up, or people who want to be supporting the startup community can show up and kind of figure out how to get connected. One of the people who was helping those folks get connected, Pat Cheung, a serial founder, he was a mentor for any number of programs, and he would meet with people and then be like, oh, you know who you need to talk to is these people here. And he'd get them connected, or he'd be like, you're looking for these kind of resources here. So Pat was doing that level of work, has been doing it for the last 6 months, but the siren song of startups has drawn Pat back. So he's starting a new gig. He will be leaving the Metro Region Innovation Hub. I'll look forward to seeing who the person who takes that role will be. And of course, we'll let you know. And then, not more important, but equally important, I will continue to follow along on Pat's journey, and we'll let you know what his new gig is and what he's up to next, because I'm sure regardless of what Pat is doing with startups, he'll still be an integral part of the Portland startup community. So news is short this week, but we were like, I wonder what happened throughout the first half of 2025. Well, I'm glad you asked, because I spent like 5 hours last Sunday just replaying all the episodes in kind of a live stream thing. I went ahead and recorded it, so I'll link that up if you'd like to watch that. It's a 2X, so it cruises along pretty quickly, and I provided some extra commentary when, it'd be like, oh, this happened, but now we know that didn't actually can't. I'm really having a hard time talking today. Again. It seems to be a consistent theme. So if you're feeling like I have a little extra time over the holiday weekend, maybe I should catch up on 2025 stuff, that would be a great way to do it. So now we've reached the part of the video that, even though it's short, it's probably just you and me hanging out right now. Just, and this is where I kind of like to share with you some stuff I'm working on, or secrets that might not actually be news I would just like you to know about, because you're kind enough to stick around until the very end. So a couple things I wanted to talk about is I had mentioned this, but I wanted to reiterate. Had planned to do like 12 months of events in Portland to kind of test some concepts, some ideas, some experiments that I was inspired to pursue by what I saw happening in the Portland startup community. Turns out 6 months has been plenty of time to figure out what was working and what wasn't, and what was really needed, and what people thought they needed versus what they actually needed or actually wound up using. And so I just wanted to remind you, I'm working on a whole new series of experiments around community. The Oregon Startup Folks database is one of those, but there are others. And so I'm working on those. If you have ideas, or if you're like, you know what the startup community actually needs, I always love that feedback. So please comment, please reach out to me, please catch up with me on the Portland Startup Slack, whatever's easiest for you. I'm always looking forward to hearing those ideas and seeing other people's perspectives on the community and where I can be helpful, or where we can do programming or any of that kind of stuff. And of course, it goes without saying, I like starting stuff. So I may try some things. I may be like, this works. Does somebody else want to take this on? Or I may try some things. I'm like, this doesn't work. Let's stop doing this, whatever. But I enjoy starting stuff. I don't mind failing at it. So always love the ideas. Always love to run new experiments, to see what's going on in the community and what could potentially work. And then another kind of just personal note, but I have received access to the YouTube auto dubbing feature, which means it uses magic AI and voice and things to listen to the video, change it to another language. So it's dubbed in Japanese or German or Spanish or whatever. And so that means that hopefully more people around the world will have access to the information and news I'm capturing here as part of the Portland startup community. So I just think that's interesting that the content created here is now more accessible to more people in the world. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with that accessibility. You're welcome to muck around with it. You just kind of like, if you hover over the video, there's a little gear in the lower right corner. Click on that and you can pick different languages for the audio, so you can see what this show sounds like in Japanese or Dutch or whatever you want, French, or German. I used to be fluent in German, so that's an option as well. But anyway, I just find that super interesting. I've been really excited about the potential of this feature, and I'm really hopeful that it highlights what you are doing in the Portland startup community and what other startups and people are doing in the startup community. Hopefully it highlights it to a global audience. So that's about it. If you're watching this on Friday, what are you doing? Go take some time off, go relax, go spend time with family or spend time quietly by yourself, which is also very, very awesome. Next week, if you're watching this on a Monday, it's going to be a full week, and probably there's a lot of news piled up that will wind up breaking next week. So could be a significant episode next week. We'll have to see. Regardless, I hope you get some downtime, or I hope you got some downtime. I hope you're hanging in there. And until we get the chance to chat again, please keep up the good work.